And I want to welcome everyone to the 2021 Mashpee Men's Club meeting, where they are recognizing our Mashpee Middle High School High Five students. I'm Superintendent Patty DeBoer. We have 15 amazing young people here today, and our Men's Club members as well. We also have our Mashpee Middle High School Principal, Mark Balistracci. We have our Director of Guidance and College and Career Readiness, Lindsay Catt, and we have our Director of Instructional Technology, Susie Brooks, here as well. So I'm going to go to the screen share, but then I'm going to have Bruce Willard say a few words to basically open the meeting. And you should be able to see Bruce when we're in this mode. All right, Bruce, it's yours.
Good morning. I want to thank Superintendent DeBoer and all of the staff members for making this event possible. This is a highlight of our year, and we want to hear from the 15 students. We have great hopes for those 15 students. In this most memorable year, we're going to remember this for a long time. We're hoping that each student can go out there and let's make this a better place, a better world to live in. I think we, the older generation, we have not done a very good job. So we're looking forward to your contributions, and we wish you the best for all students at Mashpee High School as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Bruce. And Principal Balistracci. Let me just make sure it would be helpful if everyone could mute, just so that we don't have some of the background noises. And then Principal Balistracci, you can say a few words if you'd like.
Absolutely. Good morning, everyone. Thank you to the Mashpee Men's Club for continuing to have this event, despite obviously the challenges in doing it virtually. It's a highlight for us, just like it is for you each and every year, and we're grateful for this opportunity. This morning, you're going to meet 15 outstanding young people from different walks, different backgrounds, different experiences, and they've all really come together and done extraordinarily well here at Mashpee Middle High School, and we're very, very proud of them, as is our entire community. So today, I hope you get a chance to know them a little bit, ask them a ton of questions. But before we get started with this, naturally, this is an unprecedented year, and one that has posed many challenges. And one of the things that's really important for our students is that they are resilient and that they persevere through adversity. And these kids have just done a phenomenal job in doing so. And they could be a model for many others to follow, as far as just kind of taking it as it comes and doing everything they can to be successful. So we're grateful for our students, and I'm really excited to share them with you today.
Mr. Boer, I think you just have to unmute.
Yes, it would be helpful if I unmuted myself to say I was going to offer Mrs. Catt an opportunity to say a few words.
Thank you, Mashpee Men's Club, for having us once again, and as noted, highlighting this collaboration and connection. It really brings a lot of hope and smiles to everyone involved. I just wanted to say, although a different year, this senior class started the year off motivated, excited, and focused on their future. To date, over 60% have already applied to colleges and universities. Many have heard back. Also within this group, we have students who have deadlines as close as Friday or February 1st. So more are applying for post-secondary education opportunities. With the class of 2021, we also have 28 John and Abigail Adams scholars, as well as 9 AP scholars, which means they're either AP scholars with honors or distinction, which that's just based off their 9th through 11th grade AP scores. And being recognized at that level is certainly something that they should be proud of. And hopefully during the graduation ceremony, you'll hear more about that, because more should be recognized by the time we have the May administration as well. So we're excited. There's 125 students in the class of 2021. And as I noted, over 60% have already applied and are looking forward to their future. So although this is a time that's a real struggle, they do show great resiliency. To just see them walk in the building really fills your heart up, and it gives you the energy back again. So that's what's great about being back in session and hybrid, where it's unfortunate some schools aren't that way, but thankfully here in Mashpee we are. Thank you so much, and look forward to any questions you might have at the end.
Okay. All right, so you should see here, this is working. These are our 15 students that are going to share sort of their journey and their hopes and dreams moving forward to beyond their time as a member of the Mashpee Public School family. I do want to express sort of a very deep gratitude to the members of the Mashpee Men's Club and your families. I truly feel that in this community, there is a level of support and interest in what is happening in our schools that is truly beneficial to our students. And it feels like there's a sort of a collective sort of hug or a safety net for our students. And it is because of this connected community that we live in and that we really work hard to foster. And the Mashpee Men's Club is a key component to that. And so we're very, very grateful for your interest in these students, your support, your conversations in the community that help others to see what an asset we are to the community. So thank you very much again for this event. It is a highlight, an annual highlight for all involved, and we're appreciative we're able to do it virtually this year. And so the students are arranged in no particular order. It was just how I made the collage. So for students, don't wonder about why anybody's in a spot. So we have a little slide presentation. Each student will share as if we were sitting over at the senior center. You just have a little bit of extra to look at while they're speaking, and we should be able to see the speaker when we are looking at his or her slides. So we're going to start with Nathan Ware.
All right, I get to lead off the pack. So thank you everybody for coming today. You know, it's a pleasure to come speak today. So my name is Nathan Ware. I've lived in Mashpee all my life, and you know, I really loved every minute of it. I have a younger brother, Sean. He's a 10th grader this year, a sophomore. We have a close relationship. We play sports together and you know, do robotics and that sort of thing. I'm on the varsity soccer, baseball, and indoor track teams. And last year I was the captain of the indoor track team. And I'm also a member of a few different honor societies. I'm actually the president of the National Technical Honor Society. And kind of one of the, so that's kind of some of the activities that I'm involved in. And then my kind of signature like endeavor over the, you know, the course of my time here at the high school has been my involvement with competitive VEX robotics. And so in my freshman year, I joined the team, 3 seniors. We went to competition. We actually like won the competition, and you know, from that point onward, I was kind of hooked. And you know, I've spent a lot of time, you know, working to grow the program, promote our, you know, different endeavors. You know, after that year when they graduated, I was all that was left. And you know, even that next year, you know, I did some promoting and some recruiting, and we actually had like 20 members that next year, just kind of as a result of the work that I did to kind of promote that. And then, you know, we've actually done a great job of kind of increasing the competitive standard as well. Last year, we had 2 teams qualify for the World Championship in Houston. And although it did get canceled, we're kind of looking to try and get there again this year if they host that event. So then kind of another thing that I've done is last summer I held an internship at the Woods Hole Oceanographic Institution. And I was working with engineers in the optical modem group to create a device that measures certain properties of water and how light travels through water in different conditions. And you know, while I was like learning how to actually, solder electronics and program different things, I was getting to use the skills that I had learned in, STEM classes and in, robotics, and like actually getting to utilize these different concepts in a real world application. And that was kind of a really unique, meaningful experience there to actually get out and go into the field. So my time there kind of prompted me to uh, become interested in electrical engineering, and that's what I'm hoping to study in college. But I also want to focus in sustainability. So my goal is to work in developing climate change solutions, and developing technology that would be used to kind of mitigate or reverse the progression of that. And I have some ideas already, but kind of a degree in electrical engineering is going to show me how to go about implementing that. So as far as kind of schools that I've applied to, I've applied to MIT, Cornell, Harvard, University of Boston, and Villanova. And I've been accepted to the UMass Amherst honors program and Rutgers. So kind of in closing, I just want to talk about kind of an experience that I had as a freshman. So I was actually offered a seat at the charter school, Sturgis in Hyannis, but I turned it down in favor of kind of the sports and the faculty and the STEM program here at Mashpee. And to this day, I can truly say that that was the best decision I've ever made. Teachers like Mrs. Howe and Mr. Looney have been really instrumental in kind of supporting my STEM related endeavors, and that sort of thing. And then administrators like Mr. Balistracci and Mr. Bohr have been tremendously supportive of kind of all of the robotics kind of endeavors that we've had over the past few years. And so, I'd just like to thank all of them. And, it might sound a little bit cliche, but for me, it's truly been great to be in Mashpee.
Thank you. All right. Next up, we have Sydney Pinhack.
Hi, I'm Sydney. Thank you for having me here today. It's an honor to be here. I've lived in Mashpee my whole life. I've been here with my family. I have an older brother named Jordan, who is currently a senior at Merrimack College. I work at the Home Goods here in Mashpee, so if any of you frequent there, probably seen me. In terms of my activities, I have been a member of the Blue Falcon Theater Company since about the 8th grade. I've been in several of the school's shows, such as Willy Wonka, Little Women, Pride and Prejudice, and many, many more. I'm a Kung Fu instructor and student. I've been doing that since I was 7 years old. I got my black sash when I was about 12. And since then, I've been a teacher at that school. I ran the kids program there for a long time. And that's something that has been really impactful in my life because I'm not someone who does a lot of sports, but I've always been drawn to that one because it's not just the athletic, it's also very like spiritual and mental, and I think it's really great. It's shaped a lot of who I am. Having done it from a young age, it's taught me a lot about discipline and respect and self-control and just being able to control your emotions, and it's been almost therapeutic when I go, and very good way to relieve stress. Anytime I go, I always feel better, even if I'm spiraling beforehand. I also forgot to put this on the slide, but I am a member of the Mashpee High School Jazz Band. I've been doing that since 7th grade. I play the saxophone, and that's very fun. That's always a nice, fun part of my day when I get to go to that class. And I'm a part of 5 different honor societies, the regular one, the English one, the math one, the music one, and the social studies one. And this hasn't really been happening this year, but in the past, I've been a member of the Mentor and Violence Prevention Group, which is a group that the school formed to educate younger students and members of the community on different forms of violence and how to notice it and how to help people get the help that they need when they're in an unhealthy and possibly dangerous situation. Um, Going back to my theater experience, I also do a lot of work in community theater, and that is acting is what I want to pursue in my life. I want to talk specifically about my experience in a production I did of Romeo and Juliet, where I played the nurse, which was odd because I was 16. I was one of the youngest in the cast, playing one of the oldest characters. But I did that show, and I realized when I walked into the read through, I was very excited that I finally had like a pretty large role outside of school. And I realized instantly that I was the worst actor in the cast. And that was really exciting for me more than it was scary because I realized how much I wanted to learn and grow as an actor and performer. And I wasn't, intimidated by the fact that I was going to be not good in the show, rather was excited by how much I could learn from all of these other people around me who had more experience in this field than I did. And it was while doing that show that I realized I wanted to pursue a career in theater because I worked hard and I improved so much over the course of those few months, and I realized just how much I loved acting. And so I plan to study theater in college. I also want to study writing and directing for theater and film as well. I'm part of a group in Mashpee called the Playwrights Lab, where local playwrights from around the Cape come and show plays that they're working on, and we help as a group workshop them. We do readings of them and give each other feedback and constructive criticism. And we were working on a presentation of them before COVID hit, so obviously that fell through, but we're still meeting via Zoom, and that's been a very great experience for me. And I love it, and I want to keep doing as many aspects of theater as I can. I want to write, I want to direct, and that showed me a different side of that field. In terms of colleges I've applied to, I've already been accepted to Hofstra University, and I've been academically accepted at Pace University into their honors college. I'm still waiting to hear about whether or not I've gotten into my program because I've been auditioning for that. I've also applied to DePaul, Ithaca, Emerson, Boston University, and Northwestern University, all of which I am waiting to hear back from. I want to thank some of my teachers who have helped me so much at this school and I've had nothing but great teachers here at Mashpee, but a few that have really helped me and I've had for several years that have really guided my time at this school have been Mr. Troyanos, who is the band teacher, and then Miss McCauley and Miss Reynolds have both helped me for several years and been just great guiding forces in my life. I also want to thank my Romeo and Juliet director, Eric Joseph, who since that time in the show made me realize that maybe acting was something I could pursue in my life and has been an incredible mentor for me since my time there. And yeah, that about covers it. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Sydney. That was awesome. Next, we have Ben Kennedy.
Hi, everyone. My name is Ben Kennedy. I'm a senior here at Mashpee High School, and I just wanted to say thank you for having me. This is a great tradition, and I'm happy to be a part of it. To start off, some of the sports I've been involved in, I am a 4-year member of the varsity indoor track team and a 4-year member of the varsity soccer team, and this year I was a captain and a South Shore League All-Star. Some other extracurriculars I've been doing. I'm the president of the National Honor Society, and I'm the treasurer of the Math, English, and Technical Honor Societies. I'm also a member of the Social Studies Honor Society. One of the extracurriculars I'm really passionate about is the State Student Advisory Council. This is a program where I was elected by the Southeast Regional Student Council. Upon my first meeting going there, I had no clue I was going to apply. I did a speech and I got voted in by my peers. It was a huge honor, and now I get to, well, in previous years before COVID, I was traveling up to Malden to the Department of Elementary and Secondary Education once every 2 months. And there was around 100 participants, all from around Massachusetts. And we got some very inspirational speakers like Jeff Riley, who's the Commissioner of Education right now. And it was just a great opportunity to meet a bunch of people from all over the place. You had people from, the Cape, but you also had people from the greater Boston area and way out west. It was really a good experience that I'm happy I did. Another thing I do is I write for the school newspaper. Right now I'm doing an article on the boys basketball team, should be up soon. And I'm a member of the student government and the Children's Cove Teen Task Force, where we work with Children's Cove, which is an organization ran out of Hyannis. And what they do is they specialize in raising awareness for childhood sexual assault and things like that. I've lived in Mashpee my whole life. I'm an only child and I live with both my parents currently. Outside of school, I'm really focused on working right now. I work a lot at Trevi Cafe. Usually during the summer, I've worked probably 6 shifts a week there, but I really love it there. And that's been like a second family to me. So if you've been there, you've probably seen me. And I also enjoy other things such as exercising, photography, and cinematography. Where I've applied. So I've applied to 8 schools, and so far I've gotten into 5, and I'm waiting to hear from 3. Gotten into the Province College Honors Program, Ohio State, Fordham, and the Merrimack and Suffolk Honors Colleges. And I'm still waiting to hear from Northeastern, Boston University, and Boston College. And I'm hoping to major in business administration or finance. I'm still unsure. But with that being said, I really want to keep myself in sports. So that's why I've looked towards the business degree, is I can hopefully get a business degree and maybe minor in sports management. Be able to work in the front office of a team or something like that is really a goal of mine that I want to work towards. Educators that I've enjoyed a lot of the presence of educators over my time here at Mashpee. 2 in particular would be Celeste Reynolds and Ed Furtek. Miss Reynolds, I had her as a freshman, and it was a very interesting time period. I had a lot going on at home, but also a lot going on in school, obviously, as an upcoming freshman. It was my first AP course, and she was really a driving force in my love for education. I had to work extremely hard in that class, and there was a lot of long nights, but it really prepared me for what was to come because I've taken several since then. And Ed Furtek was my varsity soccer coach, probably the most influential person in my life. He really coached me through a lot of different things. Being on the varsity soccer team as a freshman was a very young, but I was also very young, but it was a very good experience. He really helped me feel like I belonged there and helped push me to become the best player I could be. And I really think under his guidance, I was able to develop not only as a player, but as a person. And yeah, on the back of that, Coach Langler was also very influential to me. He unfortunately passed away when I was in 8th grade, but I came into the soccer program in 7th grade and made the junior varsity team in 8th grade, where he was my coach, and he really helped me learn that this is what I wanted to do with the rest of my high school sports career, that soccer was my path in high school. And with his guidance, I was really able to develop, and he really pushed me to become the best player I could be even after he passed away. But I think that is it. Thank you very much for having me. This is a great honor, and I look forward to hearing from the rest of you.
Thank you, Ben. Next, we have Clara Sines.
Hi, everyone. Firstly, I just want to thank you all for your time and thank you for having me here today. I'm Clara Sines, and I'm a senior at Mashpee High School. I have lived in Mashpee since I was a baby, and I started going to Mashpee Public Schools when I was in 1st grade. I have 6 siblings, 3 brothers and 3 sisters, and they're all amazing. Outside of school, I spend a lot of time playing music and writing my own music, and right now I am currently working on my first studio album, which is really exciting. In addition to that, I've had the opportunity to go on 2 missions trips throughout high school, which have really had a big positive impact on my life and my growth as a person. Most of my working has happened in the summer, and I was a lifeguard for 2 years, and I was also a cashier at 2 places this past summer. For schools, I have applied to 9 so far. I was accepted to the Pace University Honors Program, Gordon College, and Liberty University. I also applied to Columbia University, Northeastern University, UMass Amherst, St. Michael's College, and Eastern Nazarene College. At college, I plan to major in either marketing or business administration, and I also hope to minor in music production as well. For extracurricular activities, I have been part of student government since I was in 7th grade, and this is my 3rd year as president of my class. I'm also a member of the National Honor Society and the National Technical Honor Society, and I've been in both of those for 3 years. I've also had the opportunity of being a student ambassador for Children's Cove and Cape Cod Leadership Camp, which has really just helped me to be able to find a place where I can serve my community, grow as a person, and get to know others from different walks of life. I have also been a student leader at my local church's youth group for 6 years, where I've also just had the great opportunity of growing as a person, growing as a leader, and forming a lot of great connections. I'm a 3-year member of the girls basketball team, a 5-year member of the field hockey team, and a 2-year member of the new volleyball team. So people that I would like to thank are Mr. Troyanos. He has just been great helping me learn my passion for music and really helped me grow in that. Another person who's had a big impact on my interest in marketing and business is Tom Shane. He helped to show me a lot about what it takes to be an entrepreneur, and he taught me a lot in just 1 year as a mentor. My mom has also been a rock for me. She's taught me how to be confident and independent, take charge of my own life and dreams that I want to fulfill. And my family has just been really supportive throughout high school overall. For my senior project, I'm doing an internship with a small business based with skincare and makeup. And there I'll just learn a lot about different aspects of running a business and running a small business, which will help with my future goals. I hope to be a successful business owner, and I also hope to be a music producer and artist. Thank you for your time, and yeah.
Thank you, Clara. Excellent. Matt Bowen.
Hey everybody, my name's Matt, and I'm a senior here at Mashpee High School. And I've lived in Mashpee my entire life with my single mother, and I'm also the only child, so kind of like that. And I'm a 4-year member of the varsity football and basketball team, so I was a part of the state championship winning football team that went to Gillette in 2017, and also the basketball team that made it all the way to TD Garden. So, I mean, those are probably some of the best memories I've had athletically at Mashpee High School. I mean, just going up and seeing all the big stands and all the support we've had, it was just amazing. And I'm also a captain of the basketball team this year too, my senior year. So, I mean, it was a great honor to be selected a team captain by my coaches and teammates. And I'm also the president of the Keystone Club through the Boys and Girls Club, which is it's a leadership group pretty much made up of a lot of teens. And sorry, I'm mind blanking right now. It's a leadership group through the Boys and Girls Club. Hold up, can I have a minute? I'm kind of choking up a little bit.
You want us to come back to you?
Yeah, sorry, I wasn't that prepared.
That's okay. We'll come back to you. All right, Chapel, you're up.
All right, so good morning, everyone. My name is Chapel. Thank you so much for having us all here today. Even though it's like a different way of doing things, it's still super cool to be a part of this, and it's kind of fun in a way. So I'd like to thank everyone for being here and having us. So I've lived in Mashpee since I was 5. I used to live in Uxbridge, Massachusetts. And then so I officially moved here when I was 5, but I've kind of grown up on Cape all my life. My grandparents lived here. My mom had a summer home here. So I've always been around the beach, the water, and I just love how beautiful it is here and just the whole Mashpee community. I'm the oldest of 4 children, so I'm super close with all of them in different ways. So we're a super close family. I work at the Cape Cod Children's Museum since I was in 8th grade, and I also am an assistant teacher at my dance studio at Harper Dance Center. And so just in September, I became an official teacher. So I teach on the weekends and teach my own classes, which is super fun. I love being around kids, working at the museum and being a teacher. I've learned a lot from kids, which is pretty cool. You know, they're just so creative, and you know, growing up, you kind of start having more like, I don't know, they're just so creative and full of life. So yeah, I've taught ages from like 3 at pre-ballet up to like 12-year-olds. So it's cool to see them learn and grow. And yeah, so like I mentioned earlier, I dance at Harper Dance Center. So I've been dancing there for 10 years now, where we have annual recitals. And actually this year, we're doing a throwback theme, which is I'm super excited about, even if we have to do it virtually or whatever. Just to remember all the past recitals we've done and really reflect. So I feel like this isn't a better year to like do it. So yeah, I'm part of the competition team. I've been part of that since 7th grade. And the thing that I love about my studio is we don't compete to win. Even though we've like won awards, we've been invited to nationals, receive special awards. We don't compete to win. We just love the experience and getting to learn and grow from it. And it's just really more fun than anything. Also with the studio, I've had the opportunity to dance for fundraisers. Every year we used to perform for Dance for a Cure, which is a fundraiser for breast and ovarian cancer. So that's really eye-opening and super fun. You dance the whole night away. We haven't been able to do it for a couple of years because of COVID and all, but I've even been accepted to like summer intensive camps. So one that I auditioned for and got into was called AAB. It's the American Academy of Ballet. So for a week, I moved to New York and stayed at Purchase College in New York. So that was super fun because I got to kind of get like a little taste of college life. So I was super grateful for that. As far as school, I am part of the National Honor Society and a leader of the photography club, which we just started in this fall. So I run the website for that, and I also help come up with projects that we do every week. So that's super exciting considering it's a new club that we have, and I'm hoping to be a part of expanding that. As for colleges that I have applied to, I've applied to UMass Amherst, Providence College, Northeastern, UConn, Tampa University, University of Vermont, Elon University, University of New Hampshire, Fairfield University, and Hofstra. Ones that I have heard back from and gotten into is Tampa, UVM, which University of Vermont, Elon, University of New Hampshire, and Fairfield University. I'm not 100% sure what I want to do yet. I know that I'm really interested in health sciences just from dancing, and I feel like I know that I'm really interested in learning about the body and how it works, and educating people on how to stay fit, which also kind of ties into my senior project, which I am super excited to be creating my own dance program to send over to the Quashnet School for them to learn about different kinds of dances from around the world to kind of spread cultural diversity. So I'm currently trying to teach myself a little bit of, Irish step dancing and like samba. So I'm super excited to be able to learn myself from this project and also be able to educate the kids. So So yeah, I just want to thank all the teachers, like every teacher I've ever had. The staff and teachers here are just amazing. Like even just like Mr. Balistracci last week, he like sat down with us on Zoom and he just really wanted to know how we were doing. And that really means so much. Like it goes beyond words. And, you know, it just makes Mashpee really feel like a home. So I'm super happy to be a part of this community, and thank you so much for having me.
Nice job, Chapel. We have Mr. William Baker.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for having us. You know, I feel great to be a part of this tradition, and the fact that we're able to continue to do it this year. You know, even despite all the challenges that this presents. So I've lived in Mashpee my whole life, and I've gone to Mashpee Public Schools since, you know, preschool. I'm the youngest of three. I have two older sisters. One living in Washington D.C. right now. She actually just had her first daughter, so now I'm a new uncle. Um, and she went to Providence College. My other sister is a sophomore at Boston College right now. Um, my mother is an attorney. She's working in elder law. And my father was a plasterer until about age 50 when he went to college and changed his careers to be an electrical engineer. And my family's always been extremely important to me and have been vital in helping me kind of become who I am today. You know, like having an older sister in the house and one that I never really saw very often, but knowing that they're both, you know, moving on and learning and growing and doing great things really kind of helped drive me to want to one up them and want to, you know, keep growing the way that they grew. And I think that's helped a lot in making me who I am today. Um, During the summer, I work at the New Seabury Golf Course, and I've been there for 3 years. Um, and I just love staying active, playing whatever sports in season. Recently, I've kind of picked up music as a hobby, kind of teaching myself piano, and I have a background playing the saxophone in middle school too. So I just kind of like trying everything out, and just kind of seeing what sticks and what I like. Um, so in school, um, excuse, I'm a 4-year member of the varsity baseball team, a 3-year member of the soccer team, a 3-year member of the basketball team, and I ran track last winter. Um, I'm an Eagle Scout. I got my Eagle Scout my freshman year, and that helped really kind of shape me into who I am as well. You know, with the leadership and the accountability, you know, the responsibility, all the lessons that I learned through that have really kind of helped, you know, make me myself. I know I keep going back to that, but I feel like a lot of this is about kind of like who I am and why I am who I am, and a lot of my history is about that. Um, I'm the vice president of the class and of the English Honor Society. I'm a secretary of the Technical Honor Society, and I'm a member of the National Math and History Honor Societies. Um, for the last 2 years, I've been a non-voting member on the Mashpee Inclusion and Diversity Committee, which is a town committee that has been formed to kind of see out the change that we want to see in the world, and to kind of, you know, create a more inclusive town of Mashpee, and to kind of address if we ever see a problem with inclusion. You know, we've talked in our meetings about vandalism on you know, native lands and the things like that, but also to kind of help, you know, on the other side to make, you know, we've helped at diversity days at the school where people get to come into the auditorium and speak about their history and about their culture, and help us all educate ourselves about, you know, the different people in the world, and about how we can all kind of, you know, learn to love our differences, and instead of use them to divide ourselves, which has been a great experience to kind of not only be about be on the inclusion and diversity committee, but also to kind of see how town committees work, and to kind of, you know, be a part and like an active member of a town committee. As far as the schools that I've applied to, um, I recently was accepted to Georgetown University, the University of Massachusetts Amherst, and the Honors College there, as well as Howard University. And I'm waiting to hear back from Boston College, Harvard, and Duke. That should be probably in, you know, a couple of months. I don't know what I want to study. but I want to stay in sports if I can. And I was accepted to the McDonough School of Business at Georgetown. So if that's where I end up, I think I'll study business, and also kind of inclined towards journalism and sports broadcasting. So if I can kind of stay in sports however I can, I've liked writing, and you know, to be able to write about sports news and be able to write about, you know, what's going on and help educate, you know, the masses would be something I'd be interested in pursuing going forward. You know, and I'd also like to just thank every teacher, every administrator, every coach, you know, all my classmates, everyone that's really, you know, have given me something, or give me something to kind of, you know, grow myself with. I want to thank them, because without them I wouldn't be who I am today. So thank you guys for having me. This has been awesome.
Thank you, Will. Shivani Patel.
Hello, everyone. My name is Shivani Patel, and first, I'm really grateful to have been invited here, and I really appreciate everyone being here. And yeah, so I've lived in Mashpee for about 13 years. My family actually immigrated from India, and I was born a year later here. So we lived in Milford for a while before moving down to Mashpee. I do have an older sister. She already graduated college and did her master's, so she's kind of done. And so at Mashpee, the first club I really joined was Key Club, and I'm glad to be vice president now, because Key Club really opened me up to become more engaged in my community and become aware of issues and just public service. And it really inspired me to continue volunteering through other clubs. And also during COVID, after everything kind of shut down, I found this online organization called Letters Against Isolation, where we write to elderly citizens who are self-isolating or quarantining by themselves. So we send letters and cards to them to make them feel better. So I really appreciate Key Club for kind of opening me up to that. Also at Mashpee, I'm treasurer of the National Honor Society, president of the Math Honor Society, secretary of both English and Social Studies Honor Society, and I'm also a member of the Human Rights Club, Children's Cove Teen Task Force, and I play violin for the orchestra. And right now, I'm not really too sure about a specific career or anything, but I do have an interest in psychology. So at college, I would hope to pursue something in psychology and also do a minor in East Asian studies, which I would focus on Mandarin and Chinese culture, or law and legal studies. Some of the colleges I've applied to so far are Amherst College, Brandeis, Northeastern, Harvard, Tufts, University of Chicago, Brown University, University of Pennsylvania, and so far I've been accepted into Suffolk University and their honors program, and UMass Amherst. I also just, for the school, I really want to thank all my teachers, especially Miss McCauley. I had her for 3 years in both homeroom and as an APUSH teacher. And for having her for 3 years, you know, of course, there's been like some stressful times or, you know, good days or anything, but Miss McCauley always like usually brightened up my day, and she would always talk to me, and like we'd always talk about like TV shows or history or news or anything. So it's really nice to have a teacher who also opened me up and like helped me grow as a student as well. And I also just want to thank my family, because they always supported me and motivated me to get the best grades and like keep pursuing at what I was really interested in. So yeah, thank you once again.
Thank you, Shivani. Ryan Hendricks.
Hi, I just want to say thank you also for having me today. I really appreciate it. My name's Brian Hendricks, and I've lived in Mashpee my whole life, ever since preschool. So it's like a small community. Everyone kind of knows each other. It's kind of like, it's just nice. Everyone like a family, and you feel close with everyone. My background: I'm the youngest out of three in my family. I have two older brothers. One's 28 and one's 25. One currently lives in Mashpee still, and then another one, he lives down in Florida with my uncle. Neither of them went to college, so I'm trying to be the first generation right now to attend college. I also, in school, I played for the varsity basketball and football team. I've been a 4-year member of the football team and a 3-year member of the basketball team. I'm also a current member in the honor society, in the math honor society in school. I was also a member of Keystone with the Boys and Girls Club. What Matt Bowen was talking about. It's a community with the Boys and Girls Club where they basically just help teens and everyone around the community, and mainly children and people who need the support at the Boys and Girls Club. And we just do a lot of stuff for the community and help young kids who go there. Also, I work at Mika's Cafe. I've been there for the past 3 years. It's a breakfast place in Falmouth where I just bust and host tables, and I really enjoy it there just because everyone there, it's also like, it's just a close family and everyone knows each other, and it's just, when you're having a stressful day, or you're not really sure, when you go there, like, it gives you a nice vibe. People are always friendly there. They make you feel welcome. Everyone's kind of like a family. They're just like Mashpee. And then I also enjoy working out, and then attending any social events with my friends whenever possible. We usually go and play basketball, or we'll just go and try to find something to do, which is kind of difficult with this time right now, but we'll make the best of it. For schools I'm applying to right now, it's UMass Amherst, Bryant University, Longwood University, East Carolina University, James Madison University, and the University of Delaware. From the major, I'm trying to do business and management or marketing. For the leaderships I've had, I'm the captain of the varsity team right now for the basketball team, and also current member of I already said that, honor society and math honor society. Honestly, I just want to say overall in Mashpee, it's just a great community. Back to what Chapel said, like, just little stuff about how on the Zoom call, Mr. Balistrati, like the other week, how he checks in on us, and they ask about your day, and how like they actually care about like your life and what you're doing, and they're actually intrigued. And that's just like with all the whole community, the Mashpee community here at the school, and it really makes us a great place. But specifically, I'd like to thank Miss McCauley, Miss Brody, and Miss Kett and my coach, Mr. Clark. They've helped me a lot just through classes, getting through anything in life, and then just with my whole college process, helping me out this last senior year. And for my future goal, I'm just trying to graduate a 4-year college and be a business manager. Thank you, guys. That's it.
Thanks, Ryan. All right, we have Jesse Rulo.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for having me. It's a really big honor to be here. So I have lived in Mashpee for around 8 years now. I used to live in Orlando, Florida, and I moved up here for my dad's work. So I've attended Mashpee since the end of 3rd grade year. So I am the only child. I live with both of my parents. So I have been a part of a lot of things at Mashpee. I have been a part of the Blue Falcon Theater Company since 7th grade. Theater has been my passion and my everything since I was really little. I used to act in shows when I used to live in Orlando, and I decided to kind of bring it back here. And I've been a lead a couple of times, and I've also been ensemble. And I also I did community theater shows before COVID happened. So I was in things in Falmouth Theater Guild, and I was in a show at Katuitt Center for the Arts. I was in shows such as The Producers, Mary Poppins, and a couple other musicals. I've been a part of various singing groups since 7th grade as well. Mashpee Middle High School has kind of been my way that I've been able to kind of express my singing abilities. And because of that, and me being able to grow my skills, I have actually become a national anthem singer for many events. I have sung things for Veterans Days. I've sung at the Falmouth Road Race Kids Race. I have sung for football games, basketball games at school, and a bunch of other really big events. I am a part of 3 honor societies: the Art Honor Society, the English Honor Society, and the National Honor Society. And I also work at 2 places. I work at the Cape Cod Children's Museum. I don't work as much really there right now because of COVID, and I used to just sell. And I also worked as a Disney princess for events a couple of times. So that was really fun. And I also work at Cape Cod Coffee, and I've worked there for a year and a half. I worked at their cafe location in the Commons, and I also now work at their roasting facility as a hostess, barista. I run food, and I work 5 shifts a week. So I have applied to 2 different schools. One of them I got into, and it's Butler University in Indianapolis. And I have also applied to Elon. I haven't heard anything from Elon yet, so we'll see. I really would love to work in musical theater. And the reason why I only kind of applied to 2 schools is kind of because I wasn't really planning on going to college until everything started happening. My main thing that I've wanted to do since I was really little was working at Disney, which I think a lot of people think that's a bit absurd of a job to do, but I've always really loved making people happy. And I guess that's kind of why I do a lot of singing stuff and acting, because I like entertaining people in that kind of way. And I love like kids coming up and like being all excited and all that. And I think that's really, incredible. So unfortunately now I'm not able to work there, but I hope in the future, maybe when everything kind of calms down, I can. Oh, also forgot to mention, I do the morning announcements at school. I've been doing them since the end of my 9th grade year, and I do them every time I'm at school. And I also do a new show called the Mashpee Minute, and I do it with one of my friends, and we basically talk about whatever's happening in the school, and we just make it a lot of fun. And I love it. I have a lot of people I like to thank. I would especially like to thank my music teachers over the years. Miss Mills, she came last year and has completely changed my view of music, and it's just really pushed my boundaries in a good way that has made me become more outgoing. I also would like to thank Miss Crehan, who now teaches at Casey Coombs, and Mr. Trionis, and they've always been very supportive. All of my teachers have been just the kindest and most supportive people. I've had nights where I've worked in shows, and because they're community theater shows, I'm usually the only teenager there. And so I'm doing my homework while like going on and off stage, and they're always so supportive if I'm like, my homework's like a day late, and I really appreciate it. And I've had incredible directors that have just been there for me and supported me, and I really appreciate them. Music has just, as you can kind of tell, has always been my main priority. And so for my senior project, unfortunately, because of COVID, singing is not really an option at school because of safety precautions. So what we're trying to do is Miss Mills and I are trying to create this kind of virtual concert. So we're going to have the middle schoolers and the high schoolers make a topic or a theme, and then we'll perform songs with them, record them in a recording studio, and edit it to make it seem very professional. And so that is what I am hoping to do in the future. And I'm just so happy to be a part of the Mashpee school system, and I am so grateful for everything that it has done. Thank you all so much for this opportunity. I appreciate it, and I just thank you.
Thank you, Jesse. All right, Connor Barron, you're up.
Hello, everyone. I'm Connor Barron. Thank you very, very much for coming. I'm very appreciative of all of you guys being here and giving us this opportunity. I've lived in Mashpee for my whole life, ever since preschool, and I've learned a lot along the way that has really shaped who I am now and who I hope to be in the future. I'm a 5-year member of the soccer team. I started in 7th grade, and in junior year, I was the captain of the JV soccer team. I didn't do soccer this year because of safety of my own health, because I have immune compromised family members and I didn't want to risk that. But I really hope to continue soccer in the future. Since roughly about ninth grade, I've been a journalist for the Falconer. I've done several interviews on teachers and outside the work classrooms. Used to monitor sports and try to help get some information out there on our school newspaper website. One of the big things that I've really have been honored to be is in the National Technical Honor Society. I started off in the Junior Honor Society, but I further pushed my technical abilities and was happy to get into the National Technical Honor Society. From then, I've done many presentations to younger children to show them and adults to show them the abilities of Mashpee schools. I've modeled several animations for teachers, and I even helped Miss Howe show how an ROV perch works. That's a small animation that I modeled. With a lot of technical stuff, I have done several presentations to big conventions. I went to MassQ I was handpicked with 3 other students. I went to MassQ, presented to some big people, even presented to large software companies that I helped give my tech class a little experience into experimental programs from a certain tech company. I even went to the Heinz convention where we showed off our capabilities in virtual reality and modeling of lightsabers and how I actually helped make a scene where they could control the lightsaber and touch and hold all the objects to really get a depth of field with it. But the biggest part of my life has been since I was roughly about 7 years old. I've been in community service. My cousin, he was killed in action at the age of 21 as a soldier in 2008 of August. And from then, I decided to try to help all the servicemen and women I could, from military, police to even service dogs. I helped raise over 6,000 Christmas cards for soldiers overseas or soldiers injured. I was given the opportunity to help get awareness and materials for service dogs overseas, like dog bowls and everything for both the dogs and the owners. I was able to send 27 full care packages and 37 small size care packages to many people overseas. From then, I really pushed more to helping package little supplies for soldiers. I helped, there's this big event every Memorial Day called Troops in the Spotlight, and I helped speak there and raise money. And in total, I've raised over $4,000 on my own. I've won many awards, but those are never really important to me. What's important to me is helping the community, and I've always tried to. Recently, I pushed to help the homeless. I did a thing called the Youth Street Outreach, which is through Christ the King's Parish Church that is down here in Mashpee. I helped give breakfast to the homeless. I talked to them, played games, we gave them clothing and everything, and helped them feel a little bit more with other people. And recently, around before COVID, I was doing public speaking to children through Boys and Girls Club and through the state rep, senior Steve Zyros, who's a recent state rep and was a former Yarmouth police chief. And helped talk to students and kids all around Mashpee for a little bit about how important it is to help in the community and how every little bit helps. And there is never a dull moment where you can't reach out to help. Outside of all that, I work at Stop & Shop. I've worked there for over a year and a half. In my first 6 months, I was promoted to an ACCDH, which is abbreviation for assistant manager, where I help manage the front end and several people's shifts, controlling breaks, inflow, and I also do the service desk in Stop & Shop as well, where I work with a lot of money and I help people transfer money and do lottery as well. I do some other sports other than soccer in my free time, and soccer is a school sport. I do archery and drag racing. I'm the youngest out of 4, and I am 3 out of the 4 brothers have all drag raced, and I'm the last one. And that's been a really big experience because you meet amazing people because it's all the way in New Hampshire. I've met some people that are now lifelong friends, and that will always have my back. So it's been a really great experience. So is archery, because when I was younger, I was a very sporadic, energetic person, but archery really helped me focus in on that and become more stable and focused, because when you're firing an arrow, you have to be really focused and there's a lot of discipline. I did karate, which really helped, but archery has been a big thing to teach me discipline. I am very grateful for my family members and my brothers. Even though only 1 out of the 4 brothers have gone to college, all of them have helped me along my way by benefiting me and supporting me, hoping that I can become better than them and really and go as far as I can. All my family are mechanics, a lot of my family, but they all wanted me to pursue a higher goal because they know I could do that, and I'm very grateful for that. And when it comes to teachers, I've had every teacher in Mashpee has been fantastic. There are some that really stuck out. Mr. Carroll, which I believe is the English head, he's always stuck out in my life. I met him in 8th grade for my English class, and he really helped me get on the right path of doing my work and getting on time. I work with him with the Falconer, and I've had him in creative writing and journalism as well. He's always been reached out. He even saw me at Stop and Shop one day and asked me to Zoom him when I can, so he could just ask how I'm doing, and that's really gone a long way because a lot of teachers truly care, and it just shows. And Mashpee is a great community. When all my friends ask what's so great about Mashpee, my friends who don't go here, I have too many things to say because it's a fantastic school. Miss Nurchella and Miss Howe have really pushed me in my technology and modeling. Mr. Nurchella took me under his wing first year and helped me gain the skills that I know today. For college, I really want to go for industrial design because I still want to help people, but I want to try to do it by using my skills in modeling, engineering, and marketing. So I hope to go there. Colleges, I applied to MassArt, Wentworth, Rhode Island School of Design, Keene University, and Maryland and Rochester. I've gotten accepted into MICA, Wentworth, and Rochester, but Wentworth is my #1 school, and I plan to go there for my 4 years and really try to work my skills. And I'm very grateful to be able to be honored to go into that school, and I was able to go under the scholar program for my high grades and high models. So I'm very excited. Thank you all very much for thank you very much for having me and having all of us. It really does mean a lot to get any chance we can to just express who we are. And thank you very much.
Thank you, Connor. Miss Caroline Shields.
Hi, everyone. I'm Caroline Shields, and I just want to start off and say thank you for having me and all of us. I'm sure that we're all super grateful to have this opportunity and just be able to talk, even if it's through a computer. But so I'll give you a little background on me. So I was born here, but I moved to South Carolina, and it was mostly because of my mom's job. She used to run about 32 Domino's.
Did we lose Carolyn? Is anyone hearing Carolyn? I can't. Susie, do you know is there a problem?
I don't see her in the participant list, so she might have gotten bumped.
Oh, here she comes back in.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Hi, Carolyn.
Sorry, I think my computer just crashed. Can you guys see and hear me?
We can now. We lost you, so.
Okay, yeah, my computer's black, but I joined on my phone, so.
No, you look perfect.
Okay, perfect. So back to where I started. So I lived in South Carolina for about 4 years and worked with my mom. She was super involved with Domino's, and where she ran about 32 Domino's stores. And we worked a lot with the Salvation Army and making care packages and such to send off, which was really like inspiring and great to see. And I'm very grateful that I was able to see that, especially at a young age. But I moved here in 3rd grade, which is really weird because it feels like I've been here forever. And I think all my friends do too, because there's like these Casey Coombs songs that everybody sings that they expect me to know, but I just don't, but I just go along with it. But so outside of school, I work. I used to work at Motion, but due to COVID, it was shut down. So now I only work during the summer, which I think is a good balance because I'm very involved with things in school. So I don't really like to overwhelm myself. But with my summer job, I work in New Seabury at the Marketplace Cafe and at Poppy Pizza, where it's a great environment. Almost every single person I know from Mashpee works there or comes in. So it's really cool to see like familiar faces when you're at work, even if it feels like you're missing a good beach day. But I am the captain of the varsity soccer team, which I've been a part of since 8th grade. And I'm very grateful to be able to be on that team for a while because I was brought in when I was in 8th grade and I was super young, but I think it made me grow as a person and player super fast, which was an awesome experience. I'm also part of the varsity lacrosse and winter track teams. I am the secretary of my class and the secretary of National Honor Society, but also a member of the Math Honor Society and English Honor Society, which is super fun. I think it's really cool because a lot of the people who are in these honor societies are also part of everybody is in every honor society, which is like really cool to see. And I know we all work hard for it. So it's nice to see us get some recognition for that. I'm also part of the Children's Cove Teen Task Force, where it's a group that a lot of people in here are part of as well, where we work with Children's Cove, which is stationed in Hyannis, and find ways to prevent or identify sexual assault and things like that. I'm also part of the environmental club with Mr. Hop, which is super fun. It gets us outside and we learn a lot of stuff that we wouldn't necessarily in the classroom. With that, we did a lot of beach cleanups and stuff like that, which is super fun. With my schooling, I am attending, I know where I'm going to school. I am attending Nichols College and I'm super excited about that. I'll be playing soccer as well. And I didn't apply to any other schools because I knew that this was the one for me. I toured a bunch, and as soon as I stepped into Nichols, I knew that this is where I wanted to be. And it's a very well-known business school. So with that, I will be going into business, but I don't know my exact, there's a lot of rounds that go with business, and I don't want to section myself into just one quite yet. So I'm going in just undecided with the idea of me getting a lot of experience with the different types of businesses. And hopefully my goal is to be able to travel and see a lot of different places I've never seen before. And yeah, I definitely want to thank some teachers. So I've played cello since the 4th grade, which is something that's like not a lot of people do. And I find it super fun, especially because it allowed me to make friends that I wouldn't necessarily be friends with or know super well without taking the class. So there was a time where I regretted it because when in 4th grade, like cello is pretty big and I would have to take the bus and I would have to carry the cello on the bus. And it was not fun, but I'm really glad I stuck with it. And Mr. Trionis, which is, I call him Mr. T, he's been my teacher since 7th grade. And with that amount of time with a teacher, you learn like things about them and like you're able to open up more. And I think that him as a person, he's always like, he'll just sit us down and be like, all right, like, what do you guys want to talk about? Like, we can just talk about stuff for a little bit. And that's really nice to be able to have like an outlet where I know I can just go to his room if I need to and just like hang out stress-free. So I'm very grateful for him. I'm also very grateful for my coach, Miss McCush. She used to be the JV coach and is now the varsity coach for 2nd year now. And she's, no matter what, like our score or what team like we're playing and we're nervous about it, she's always has high hopes for us and teaches us about hard work ethics and what like working hard can get you. And I think that's a great life lesson to learn. Yeah, so I just want to say sorry for the cutout, and but glad I got back on. But I just want to say thank you for letting us all talk today, and I'm very grateful. And I hope you all have a great day.
Thanks, Caroline. Let's see. Oops. Oh, okay. All right, next we have Sydney Puccio.
Okay, hi everyone. My name is Sydney Puccio. I am a senior at Mashpee High School, And I just want to thank you guys for giving me this opportunity and giving all of us this opportunity. It's very helpful during this time. I've lived in Mashpee my entire life, and consecutive, I've also attended Mashpee schools my entire life. I love the community. Everyone here is so helpful. I always feel like I'm never left out of anything with Mashpee. A little background about me: I live with my parents and my brother and my grandmother, who has recently moved in. My brother is 19 years old and he is a freshman at LaSalle University for sports broadcasting. Um, I am I like to be involved with my community, so I'm president of Key Club this year, and I've been involved in Key Club for my entire time in high school, and also in Bridges Club in middle school. I'm the vice president of Social Studies Honor Society, and as well as the vice president for Math Honor Society. I'm also a member of the National Honor Society, and I have been a 5 years. I've been in the softball team at Mashpee, and I love that team so much. Any opportunity I can get to hang out with them and playing sports with them is just it's stress relieving, and I really appreciate having them there for me. Um, I work at New Seabury Country Club along with everyone, mostly everyone here. Um, I am a busser at the Pompanesett Inn during the summer, and during the winter, I'm a busser at 95 Shore. Um, I really enjoy them. That's a really nice environment that they have, and I get to see a lot of my friends because a lot of people go there. I'm also a volunteer at the MSPCA, which is my local animal shelter. I've been volunteering with them for ever since I could have the opportunity when I turned 16. I really enjoy spending time with animals, which is why I want to become a veterinarian. It's always been it's my childhood dream job, and I really appreciate the opportunity to be able to continue my studies for that. Volunteering at the MSPCA, it's really opened my eyes to like the world of animal care, and I never really got that opportunity when I was younger because I only had dogs. And so I specialize in cat caretaking and dog walking, which seems it doesn't seem like that much for anyone else, but for me, I really appreciate that opportunity, and it's the highlight of my week. I go there every Sunday. Um, for the schools that I've applied to, I applied to a bunch of schools. All of them are up north because I really like the cold. My top school is Penn State, which I got into when I applied for the honors college. So I'm hoping that they let me into the honors college. I've also applied to Boston University, University of Connecticut, University of Maryland, UNH, UVM, UMass Amherst, Clemson, and University of Rhode Island. And they're not there's not a lot of pre-vet schools, so I really just applied for as many as I could because I'm very indecisive. So I'm hoping that I get into the honors college at Penn State, and if I do, then that's probably one of my top schools. So at Penn State, my major would be biomedical and animal sciences. So I could continue my studies on the pre-vet track in undergrad school. After I finish undergrad school, I do need to go to graduate school. So it's an 8-year expedition, but I'm sure it's going to be really fun. My dream is to go to a rhino reservation in Africa. I've always loved rhinos. They're just so cool to look at. And so I really hope that with the studies, I can do that and become like something in wildlife and a veterinarian. A lot of educators of the Mashpee community, like I said, is just an amazing place, and I love them so much. And Miss McCauley and Miss Purdy have really helped me towards figuring out what I want to do and getting opportunities that I need to pursue my future career goals. My softball coach has also helped me develop a lot of skills with teamwork and with passion, and that entire team just helps me so much. So I think that's about it. Thank you for giving me this opportunity, and I look forward to hearing from the rest of you.
Thank you, Sydney. Next, we have Carolyn Raber.
Hi, everybody. My name is Carolyn Raber. Thank you for this opportunity and for listening this long. I know it's difficult sometimes. I'm a senior at Mashpee High School, and I have been living in Mashpee for around 15 years now. I've been going to Mashpee school since, kindergarten, preschool. And originally, I was adopted from Ulsan City, which is in South Korea. So I used to live in Reading, Mass, but moved here when I was really little before I started school. Um, I've grown up in a household with 5 people, my mom, my dad, and my 2 autistic brothers. They're nonverbal, so that's been a little it's been a struggle, but you can only do so much, and we support them and we love them, and that's what we do. Um, some interests I have outside of school is I used to work at Home Goods along with Sydney, but since COVID happened, I decided to leave, and um, just my schedule got really busy but with extracurricular activities, so I left. But a couple weeks ago, I decided to apply to the Mashpee store, the We Are Mashpee store in the Commons. And I actually got a job there. So I'll be creating different products and working along with the CT department and Miss Consuelo Carroll. So that's really exciting because I like to be in the tech field and creating my own projects. I like to volunteer my spare time helping out my brothers and also doing like grocery drop-offs for those who, since the pandemic and everything like that, it's really hard for them. I also volunteered at the Diversity Day with Chapel. We both did a little dance in front of the entire school, and that was really fun. And we got to collaborate and do different projects along with Miss Purdy with Human Rights Club and Key Club, and that was just a great experience to have. Along with college, I actually did early action, so I only applied to one school, and that was Wentworth. So along with Connor, I actually committed there a couple weeks ago, right around Christmas time. So that was really, really nice. I want to major in interior design because both my parents are architects, but something I didn't really want to go along with architecture because I thought I had more of an artistic kind of look on life and look on things. And I just like looking at colors and patterns. And I just think the interior design is definitely the way that I want to go. And some extracurricular activities I have participated in are definitely all of the sports teams. I've done varsity cheerleading for 3 years, fall and winter, and I participated in winter track just a little bit, just doing the shot put. I was part of the Falmouth Mashpee gymnastics team for a little while, and also the girls JV lacrosse team in 9th grade. I partake in many different clubs, such as HOSA and Human Rights and the National Technical Honor Society and Key Club. So those are some really great clubs to have. And especially in Mashpee, they always make sure that there's so many different opportunities for new sports. And I think they just started a volleyball team a little while ago. So that was really, really fun for the kids who wanted to do a different sport in the fall. Some educators that I would really like to thank along my journey at Mashpee High School is Miss Purdy. She does anything for her students. She will go out of her way and help you with anything that you need, support you with college, or she used to be my homeroom teacher, so she was really great. The advisors, Miss Kett, Miss McCush, Mr. Belstracci, and Mr. Mack, they always make sure that you feel welcomed at the school. And also the CT department teachers, Miss Howe and Mr. Looney, Mr. Nicella, Mr. Cupie, they've actually been a big help with the technical field at the high school with woodshop and drafting, which I'm all part of. So that's really great. Due to COVID, my internship for School to Career will be at an office called Catalyst in Yarmouth, where I'll be shadowing another interior designer, kind of getting a more inside look of what she does. So that's definitely really exciting, and I just can't wait to start. I think we're starting in like February, so that'll be such a great opportunity. So that's all that I really have for my presentation, but thank you so much for having me, and I hope that you have a great day.
Thanks, Carolyn. And our final speaker is Sean Smith.
Hi, everyone. First of all, I want to thank Superintendent DeBoer, Principal Balistracci, Mrs. Kett, Miss Brooks, and the entire men's club here for presenting me and my fellow classmates with this really generous opportunity. And also, I just want to thank all my classmates and peers. It's an honor to be here with you guys today. I have lived in Mashpee my entire life. And I have attended the public school since kindergarten. It's really shown me the value of community and just how important it is. And I have developed lifelong friendships I will never forget. I also have two younger sisters who both attend Mashpee High School. One is in sophomore year and one is a sixth grader. And I also live with both my parents who both work on Joint Base Cape Cod in Bourne. My dad is an airfield maintenance supervisor and my mother works as a physical therapist. Outside of school, I spend a lot of my time swimming for Cape Cod Swim Club. It's a club team located in Buzzards Bay, and we train up at Mass Maritime Academy. I've swum my entire life. I've always been around water, but I joined competitively at the age of 10, and I've worked my way up to the most competitive senior group. And before COVID, we trained about at least 20 hours a week. It was a very rigorous, dedicated schedule, but the teammates I've had there, we've seen each other at our highs and lows from 5 a.m. practices to, championship meets. And I've really developed a strong community there. And I've grown close with all of them. And it has taught me the importance, of hard work and diligence. Outside of swim, and also on top of that, I have been selected as a New England swimming representative, which basically means I vouch for my team at regional meetings for New England Swimming, where we talk about safe sports and ways to better our community. I'm also involved in my local church, Christ the King's youth group. I have been involved since freshman year, and we have, taken part in a lot of community projects such as Street Reach, where we feed and help clothe the homeless. And what I took away from it mostly was the fact that we got to sit down and actually have conversations with these people and just hear about their life stories, which were really inspiring to me. I also have spent the past 2 summers working at the Pizza Guys, which is also in Mashpee, and I also worked there through the COVID pandemic. And what I really enjoyed about that was, especially in March when, the first wave happened and a lot of small businesses were struggling, it was really nice to see the whole Mashpee community as a whole trying to support small businesses and how generous people were with their tips. It just really showed how great Mashpee is. In school, I am president of the First Social Studies Honor Society, which I think is a very important club. We're working on bringing visualization and representation to the school, which I am very excited about, as well as working on some open street mapping projects, which I can talk about later. I'm also the vice president of FBLA and treasurer of Key Club. I've also been a member of National Honor Society, Math Honor Society, and English Honor Society. I have applied to 6 schools so far, and I've heard back from 3. So I have gotten into Wheaton College, Clark University, and Macalester College. I recently applied to, so I'll be waiting to hear back from Georgetown University, American University, and Carleton College. And I plan on majoring in international relations and possibly political science. The reason I want to do that is I didn't really know what I wanted to do for a long time, but I have a strong passion about travel, meeting new people, and helping the world. And so that's why I want to thank Mrs. Reynolds, Miss McCauley, and Miss Purdy. They have, all my teachers have been great, but they've really inspired me as a student. Miss Reynolds was my first AP teacher, freshman year, AP Human Geography. It was a very interesting class. And what I really liked about it was, it brought to light a lot of really important events, stuff going on in the real world that doesn't really get talked about, especially, since I've lived here in a small community my whole life, I'm kind of in a bubble. And that class kind of taught me to venture out and, really look into current events. And not only was it a very interesting class, but she was a very inspiring teacher. I like to always say she makes Mondays feel like Fridays. She would jump on the table. She's very loud, passionate, and very inspiring. Miss McCauley was also my APUSH teacher for 2 years. She really helped me, fall in love with history more and, taught me the importance of it, as well as she held a lot of very informative class discussions where the whole class got to get to know each other in more of a intimate way where we got to talk about a lot of real world issues, as well as Miss Purdy, who taught my junior seminar class, who helped guide me to direct my passion in diplomacy and foreign policy. Due to my schedule, I have not, due to my rigorous schedule and just like the way that COVID has panned out, I have not been given a senior seminar class. However, I've been working closely with Mrs. Reynolds and Miss Purdy to possibly start a open street mapping club. For those of you who don't know what open street mapping is, it's kind of like the Wikipedia of Google Earth, I guess you could say. Companies and tons of people, anyone can do it, work together on mapping different parts of the world, especially with, times changing, maps changing all the time, developments occurring. And it's just a very interesting experience that I started freshman year. And hopefully we would get to bring it to Mashpee. With my career ambitions, I hope to possibly one day work for the United Nations or possibly the State Department or as a diplomat. I believe I highly value education as well as discussion. I think that's very important, especially in polarizing times right now. And I'd like to be on the forefront of that and help make the world a more educated and peaceful place. With that, once again, I want to thank all of my teachers, all of my classmates, and everyone from the Men's Club here today for providing me this opportunity. And have a great rest of the day.
Thank you, Sean. So Matt Bowen, do you feel like doing a little closing out for us?
Yeah, no, I'm good. I can finish off where I left off.
Let me get you back there. All right.
All right. So, yeah, kind of where I left off. Next year, I've committed to play Division I football at Long Island University, where I'll study sports management. I'm studying sports management because in the future, I'd definitely like to become a sports agent or a manager, because I feel like that would be just awesome. I'd like to stay in the sports field. And for people and educators that I'd like to thank all of my teachers that I've had in Mashpee throughout all my years of going to Mashpee, because they truthfully care about each and every one of their students, not even just academically and in the classroom, but how we're all doing physically, mentally, and emotionally out of school. And they're always just there to check in on you and make sure you're doing all right. And yeah, that's pretty much all I got. Thank you. Thank you all for your time. That's all I got.
Thanks, Matt. All right, I'm going to stop sharing. And everybody should be back here together. And you might have to go through two different screens. Does anyone from the Mashpee Men's Club have any questions that you'd like to ask any one particular student, or a general question that different students could respond to? If you want to, see the chat button at the very bottom of your screen. You can type your question there. That tends to be a little bit more orderly versus multiple people trying to speak at the same time, because we all can't handle our boxes. So that might be a good way to put a question in, and you just hit return after you've typed your question. So it's at the bottom of your screen if you'd like to do that.
This is Bud Abbott. I'm rather than going right to chat. This is wonderful again. This is one of my highlight events of the year. I really look forward to this. I'm sorry I'm going to miss lunch with all of you. It's always a good wrap up of the thing, but maybe another time. I want to especially thank your administrators for putting this together. I never imagined what they could do with this, and this is just super accomplishment. So that is really great, and I thank you all. The only question I might pose to all of you, and whoever wants to could tackle some of it, at this time with the virus all around and everything, we miss things like the lunch. Is there one thing you've had during the year that you think you've missed because of the virus that's really hindered you from enjoying this last year? That would be my question.
I've can I
Yep.
I've personally missed the connection. It's been a different year. I'm used to being able to connect with my friends, teachers, more personably, and just everyone in general. I haven't been able to see my family or anyone of my friends occasionally, but I see them in school too. But it's not the same. That's one thing I really miss is the whole personality and connection and really being family and being friends and all.
I agree with I agree with Connor. Something that I really miss in the classroom is just, the social aspect of it. I feel like everyone has something to gain from there. Something I've always enjoyed from school is just classroom discussions. I feel like that's how I learn the best, is just from talking to other people and hearing their ideas. And that's been a little difficult with COVID, but the teachers have been doing a really great job at trying to make sure everybody is involved. Something I've also missed is just the traditions. I know it's not the biggest deal in the world, but ever since kindergarten, we were the class of 2021. That was just part of our identity. We've been looking up for these events for so long and looking forward to it. And not really having it be the same is tough, but the school has done a great job of working on ways to go around it. So I'm hoping for the best, especially as the spring comes along.
Yeah, I have something like kind of simple. I mean, a lot of people know that I'm usually everywhere when it comes to sports games. I've always loved going to the basketball games, the soccer games, the lacrosse games, whatever. I've really missed that. I really miss being able to watch my classmates succeed. And I know it's like kind of simple, but this was the last year that I'd be able to really go and see my classmates doing something that they love, which I always love seeing them have like a great time and stuff. So that's unfortunate, but I'm happy that people are getting the opportunity to still play sports at least.
Yeah, I miss a lot of because I do singing and all that. I really miss being able to perform. I've been pretty much performing in shows back to back for the past 4 years. And so now just kind of being at a standstill, it's like I don't really get to do much. And unfortunately, because you're not able to, perform at school because of singing and air, it's like you can't really have the opportunities that I have been so used to. And so I'm just kind of, the only place I can really sing is like in my room. And you can only do so much of that until your parents tell you that you need to be a bit more quiet.
And
Yeah,
for me,
I mean, like, take it.
So to add on to I believe it was Ben and Sean's point, I feel like our grade has always been like super solid in our like connections with each other. And with the literal divide through the cohorts, it's definitely took a toll on like our connection as a class, especially because where we would all have fun and like all together would be at the football games or at the pep rally and stuff like that. Even though like the pep rally is meant to be like a seniors always win, our grade was always like so into it. Even though we knew that there was no chance we were going to win, we always like tried our best, and it was like super fun. And I think that's definitely something that at least I've like realized that I've missed greatly this year, is that we aren't always together doing the things that we love to do. And yeah, so that's my take on that.
Yeah, and I think like as a whole, it's, for me, I think it's the stability of normalcy and having, even though sometimes we would have like, bad days, we'll always be able to go back to school and see our friends and have that there for us. Can you guys hear me? It says my connection is stable. Okay. But yeah, I mean, for me personally, I took off last basketball season to run track so I could get ready for baseball and not have that baseball, missing out on that was kind of tough. I'll
Any students, Dow put in the chat what do you see as the greatest challenges in the next 10 years? So from your perspective, being a senior in high school, what are some of the things that are running through your heads in terms of a vision of your world and our world in the next 10 years? Any thoughts on that?
Yeah.
Actually, no, one of you can go.
I mean, I really think like this generation is super competitive in terms of, you know, whether it comes to school, sports, anything like that. But I think the job market's going to be incredibly competitive over the next 10 years. So I think the biggest challenge for me is going to be really finding a way to stand out from my peers. And really that's going to come in, even though we're talking about the next 10 years, for me, that's going to come in the next, 4 years at school, is really figuring out a way to set me apart from all the competition and things like that. So I think, I mean, just being able to find my own identity and be able to contribute that to wherever I go and work and things like that is going to be a big challenge, but hopefully will be rewarding at the end of it.
Yeah, I would say for me, my individual challenge the next 10 years will probably just be making decisions that truly define who I am as a person and just staying true to myself. You know, I have goals and I have ambitions, but just reminding myself and reflecting as I move on, where I want to be will be my greatest challenge for myself to be successful in the end.
Excellent.
Yeah. I kind of want to add something on less of an individual scale, but like more of an like international level. So like at the global level, we're facing some really unprecedented like climate challenges, to deal in with regards to kind of sources of energy, and kind of sustainable lifestyles in general. With a growing population like across the globe, there's going to be some real challenges to finding ways to sustain this population. And so, I'm looking to engineering to, try and start developing some solutions to, maybe it's renewable energy, or maybe it's, kind of improved transportation, or something along those lines. But there's going to be some really significant kind of challenges that we need to tackle in the next, maybe it's not this next decade, but maybe it's the one after that, or things like that are going to be really significant, global hurdles for us to, climb over.
I also kind of on more of a larger scale, I feel like one of the biggest issues that we're going to have to start getting back to in the next 10 years is just being able to talk to each other again in the normal way. There's a lot of things in the world that a lot of people are very angry about, and a lot of the times rightfully so very angry about. But I feel like we're in a state where we're so quick to villainize other people and demonize other people, and a lot of people have lost the ability to just talk to each other and actually have discussions on issues. And like one of the biggest reasons I got in the arts is so appealing to me is because if you go see a play or a movie, you go and you watch and you just sit and see someone else's story and someone else's perspective, and you're forced to kind of understand and see things from someone else's point of view, even if you don't agree with it. And you can't interrupt it, you can't stop it, you just kind of have to sit and watch. And I feel like that's something that we need to do more as a society. We need to put ourselves in other people's shoes and see things from their point of view and understand why they think the way they think in order to actually start solving a lot of the problems that we have in the country and in the world.
It's very well said, Sydney. Very well said. I sometimes think that the barriers to the right kind of communication, that we're living in this time period where we have tech barriers, like we're not with each other, we're on a screen. And then when we are with each other, we're masked. So just the actual physical representation of these barriers is just contributing to this lack of compassion and understanding and wanting to truly listen to what the other person has to say. So hopefully over time, as we continue to navigate out of this pandemic, we'll find our way back to the kind of world that we need for these 15 and all of our graduates. And they'll be helping us get us to that point. Any other comments from a student that you wanted to say that you didn't get to? I don't want to have anyone who doesn't get to share, or a member. Connor?
For the 10 years, I agree with both Sydney's view and Nathan's views. There's a lot of global things and worldwide things, and there are also some personal things I have to deal with. The field I'm going into is a very competitive field, and you have to learn several skills. You have to learn marketing, communication, modeling. You have to mix a lot of these skills, which is a long path. So that's something I have to face in the next 10 years. But overall, it's more the global thing, like views of how Sydney is saying, and then how everything is. The 10 years is going to be a very determining year for many people in this Zoom call, right? And there's definitely a lot ahead of us, both good and bad.
Thank you. Any other last thoughts before we break? I don't know if Bruce, you're on here. You want to say any final thoughts, or any member of the men's club? This is actually your meeting, so I should let you control it.
At the risk of angering everybody, I'd rather have you go home happy. I just think the students, my thought to them is to be very suspicious and careful about political correctness. It is taking over. It's led to colleges unwilling, because of faculty and students, to have alternate views expressed, even not by an existing faculty member, but an invited guest. And we've now seen Harvard remove from one of its advisory committees a representative of the House of Representatives who was presenting the views on behalf of her constituency, but they seemed to anger the leadership and at college, and there they've gone. That's a new low for Harvard as far as I'm concerned. If you want a bad example of an international power practicing almost complete political correctness, I offer you Russia and China, and I don't think we want either of those here. I have spoken.
Yeah, I am definitely hoping that these young leaders, as they continue their learning journey and actually get out to be contributing adult voting members, that we all recognize the value of free speech. And it is feeling a little bit right now like some of the large tech companies have taken some of that away for everyone. So anyway, I'm just going to end with a expression of tremendous gratitude to our students. I have so learned, not only enjoyed, but learned much more about just these 15. And for me, that's the biggest piece that I am missing about this year, because for me, being a superintendent, it's a job, but what makes it truly fulfilling is my interaction with students. And there is definitely a lot less of that this year. Like students have mentioned, all of the outside of the school day events that go into creating a truly robust, alive school district, we're struggling to create those situations and experiences this year. And you can tell, I mean, there is a loss of that connectedness. And I just hope that we're continuing to strive to make sure all of our students' needs are met. It is definitely a different year. We're going to do everything in our power to create a senior year experience for these. I think there's 128 planned graduates, as best we can, because they only get one senior year, and they are a phenomenal group of students, and they're working very hard, and they deserve everything that we're able to give them. So I am very grateful for the Men's Club and also for our students, Principal Balistracci, Mrs. Brooks, and Mrs. Kett. Thank you as well for your help with today's event. Stop sharing. And I guess that's it. Any thoughts? You're welcome.
Thank you for making it happen, Patty.
My pleasure. It worked out well, and I think a lot of people beyond just the men's club are going to get to enjoy this event. So I'm, we'll take bits and pieces of it when we move forward to next year and figure out how we can always try to get better.
On that, I'll just say that we have reserved the music room at the Daniel Webster Inn for December 7th for the next year's High Five group.
Yeah, and we'll figure out.
And I'm sorry I couldn't do it this year.
I know. We need to get a good meal into the stomachs of these 15 children. So, all right. Thank you, everybody. Take care.
Thank you, Patty.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
You all did a great job.
Patty.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.